Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Matt and welcome back to Crypto Kings, and today's video we're going to be talking about exactly what is going on with Shiba Inu. I know a ton of you guys have been asking me stuff on Twitter, and I figured let's go into it. Let's talk about exactly this type of movement we are seeing and what we could expect for the near future. So if you guys are new, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more daily Shib vids, and let's get right into it, folks. So if you guys have not already seen what Shib is up to here on the day, of course, when we check what we are totally looking at here, we are having one of the worst days here compared to a lot of the rest of the coins. But regardless, the fact that on the 24 hours here, out of the top 100 market cap coins, Crypto.com here being only 10% down shows the market is having a pretty stable day. Again, you guys can see Shib was down 17% on the week, but regardless, we are still here at 5418, down around 5% on the day, which is nothing particularly tragic. And again, this does kind of contribute to the movement that we are going to analyze later on in the video. So market cap, we are trailing $30 billion. Of course, that always does take a dip as the price takes a dip, which is inevitable. Unfortunately, the volume here is right around $2.5 billion, so definitely down a good deal during the past 24 hours. And I find that on lower volume days, typically there is less, of a news cycle, less of stuff going on with Shib, and therefore the volume will reflect that. But that's not always bad, because sometimes the best moves are made in silence, and during periods of consolidation like this, I think Shib is getting ready to gear up for an amazing run. So speaking of things that are amazing, guys, make sure to check out Webull. Top of the link down below in the description. It is so easy to do if you guys want to start trading stocks, crypto, including Shib, all that good stuff. Definitely get started with my link, and if you guys use it, I'll get some free stuff, and you guys get some free stuff, and who can't love that? Top of the link down below in the description. So let's take a look, guys, at what we are working with here on our graph here on the day. So again, if you guys will remember, of course, this here on the 4th and 5th was a very typical cup and handle movement. And you guys can see we actually come out of an inverse cup and handle here, something like this, which is inherently very bearish and typically leads to some bearish movement. And then we head into a regular cup and handle, which typically leads to a very bullish movement. However, in this instance, it failed to get past the 65 line. The 65 line is really, sort of the breakthrough line we needed to go through. And unfortunately, after having this cup and handle movement, we were not able to either here or here break past that line. So again, that is very unfortunate, and it kind of led to a period of consolidation. But is that particularly bad? Well, not really, because in the end, this is giving us a lot of stability here in the long run. Again, you guys can see here with the volume I'm circling, this is pretty low compared to where we were. Again, we see a little surge here, but if you scroll back, it's like, oh my goodness, look at all this volume here through late October, early November. This is just crazy, so we are not seeing, such insane, crazy volume like that right now, and that is completely okay, because it is giving us a good deal of stability. So what this really looks like to me is, again, what you could call a textbook period of consolidation. I mean, it really does. And when we stretch it out, we give ourselves a bit of a better sort of timeline here. So we have really 59 as the high. We have a little bit more trailing above here, but I think 59 is definitely a safe line to say, because you guys can see it gets rejected here a good couple of times. So 59 definitely does seem to be the spot. And then the low here, of course, seems to be right around 52. And you guys can see it bounces off of the 52 line a good few times as well. So that definitely looks like what we are bouncing between a 7 point, interval here from 52 up until 59. And this line of consolidation does look like it will be good for the future. It does look like this is giving us a good deal of stability. But when we, sort of zoom out and kind of look at the bigger picture here, what this looks like I've been talking about, is a flagpole here, which of course you guys can see, and then a bull flag. We have a very bullish movement here, and a lot of people have been telling me on Twitter, like, oh, how do I know what a flag looks like? How does a flag work in this instance? Well, essentially, if we have a bear flag, meaning that we are coming all the way from the top. So let's say we have a flag coming down, sort of something like this, where we have it coming down and then kind of have some movements like this. This may be bearish because of the way the flag started, because the flag came all the way from up top, and then again we are consolidating after, but where the flag started is still much higher. So something like this looks a good deal bearish. Now, if this was to be a triple bottom, you could see something like this, where we have the 3 instances here, which could look like a bear flag, but then it is able to move past whatever the neckline was, is able to move past that and break out. So this is a rejection of what a bearish flag would look like. Yet in this instance, you guys can see based off of the stem where we are starting, this is a bull flag because it is coming up from the bottom. So it is coming up from, a recent, pretty bad low, and then it is, sort of taking a kind of move here to consolidate in some fashion. So again, something like this, getting ready for a breakout. Now, there are a couple of variations as to how a flag like that could work. We, of course, have a sort of falling wedge kind of thing where you have something like this, and then when you map it out with the wedges, you would have a top that is descending and then a bottom that is descending at a slightly less dramatic rate. This would be like a falling wedge sort of bull flag in this instance. Then you'd have a slight variety of it where you have another flag that is not a falling wedge but more symmetrical. Either way, in both instances, this nuance here doesn't really matter. In both instances, this is inherently bullish, which is excellent. So again, in this instance, there are a lot of different ways in which we could trace this out. We could do something like this, and then something like this, and boom, now it's a falling wedge. And when I draw it this way, it really does look like it's getting ready to break out. Then I could do something very similar, just, a regular bull flag that is not, a falling wedge of any kind, but just something more, normal like this, a more period of consolidation. Either way, again, it is looking bullish. The nuance of the angle of the flag is not all that big of a deal as long as the flag stem is, again, starting from kind of the same spot, and that is a bullish movement. So all around, this is looking excellent. When we check the relative strength index, you guys can see we are, a little bit below the middle, but definitely close enough to around 50, which is right in the middle, right around where we should be, not being particularly volatile. We do have the headroom to push up if we want to. We could, supposedly head, from 54 up to like 56 or 57. We could do this with ease without triggering some very volatile movement. And then, of course, we could head down into the 20s if we wanted to, and then have a massive sell-off, and then, oh my goodness, volatility. So we want to avoid things like that and definitely stick right around the 50 mark. That is always good. When we check the Fibonacci retracement, you guys can see, of course, it's going to map out the most recent run with the high and the low. So we have a high here of 58.5 and a low here of 53. And essentially, it is just telling us that the 23.6% line here does look to be the main obstacle. It is looking to sort of gear up to maintain support above that line. And if it did, it would stay above the 54.5 line again. So you have that again with the bottom of 53. So, you'd have a slight increase there. Does that have any major impact on whether or not it's a bull run? Probably not. I think when we have a bullish surge, this Fibonacci retracement would be rendered relatively unimportant. So with that being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to check out Webull. Top of the link down below in the description. With that being said, guys, my name is Matt. Make sure to subscribe for more daily SHIB vids and turn those notifications on. Appreciate it, guys. You guys have a great day. Peace.